Hey guys, happy Friday. I wanted to pop on because this had been requested from some time ago, and then after I made my last video talking about my Orbit Baby system, I had gotten many requests asking, what is a paparazzi shield? Why do you think this is the best out there? Because I have raved about this since the day I got it. I've talked about it in many videos. I've used it in many videos, in outings and things like that. So finally, guys, after some prompting, I'm getting on here and I'm going to show you why I think that the Orbit Baby system is a very high-end but very superior, perfect setup for us reborn collectors. A big part of why I like it is the look of it, of course. It's always very futuristic looking in comparison to a lot of the traditional newborn infant carrier car seats. I've always liked that it seemed super safe for a living newborn, and I'm a huge fan of the style of it, and I'm also a huge fan of the fact that it does have a built-in paparazzi shield, which I wish other brands would get on board with that, because I think those are perfect for us collectors should we want to take our dolls out. I do take my dolls out. I have not done it recently, but I keep saying that I want to do it more, and I hope to get to a point where I'm not so leery of taking my dolls out in public and running into people, but it's a fact of really why I don't. But I'm going to go through kind of the nuances of this particular style car seat, and I'm going to share with you why I like it. And this is really only my opinion. I get that not everybody will go out and spend any money on a car seat, let alone a high-end car seat, but I will tell you that just like with any other high-end purchase for baby furniture that's super popular, you can find them secondhand and pretty cheap. If you don't mind a used item or gently used or however the condition is, just something to keep in mind. Like, you can find some really, really good deals if you really truly want to have some of these baby furniture pieces to enjoy your dolls with. And luckily a lot of people do, especially like on Craigslist, and you can find high-end strollers, high-end car seats, high-end everything that's gently used from people that have had them for their babies and moved on and then selling them because they don't need them any longer. And because we have dolls, we don't have to have brand new safety features and all that, because that's not what we're looking for. But if we like the way a car seat or baby seat looks, then hey, all the power to us, right? So I'm going to get into this. I'm going to go through all of the details of this and its functions, and kind of share with you why I like it so much. So first off, I like the style of it. It's unique in the sense that it's different, the shape and style of how it covers the baby. Like, the style of the seat itself reminds me of like more of an egg shape and cut in half and place it on a base. That's kind of what it reminds me of. And what's unique about this Orbit Baby system is it is on this circular rotating hook in to, whether it's the stroller or whether it's going to be going into the car for the base attachment. So that way it's a hook and twist type of base system. So you can actually turn the baby towards you to place it on the car seat base, and then swivel it to lock it in place. It's a very nice feature because it's one of those things that you can see. I haven't used it in a little bit. It's got a little bit of dust on it. But it's a nice system when you have a living baby, because they're looking at you, and it's easier to carry the weight in a certain way with a living baby or a weighted doll in it, because they're heavy. So the balance of weight is easier to hold it like this, placing it into whether it's a stroller or the base attachment in the back seat of the car. And then once you have it in place, you swivel it to face the back of the car, which is really handy. So it actually makes it easier to pick up and cart and move around, which I really like. So that's how the base works. And I almost brought the stroller out or the base to show you, but it's pretty easy and straightforward. If you've not used one, no one's gonna understand it until you've actually done it. This is the locking mechanism right here, this handle. To lock, swivel, lift out, it's all right there where you'd handle it. So it makes sense when you're actually maneuvering it that that's where the hook should be, versus on traditional car seats, you have to pull a lever a lot of times in the front of the seat to lift it, and it's a very awkward lift. If anybody's, a lot of us out there have done that, it's awkward to try to lift it out. And I don't know how many times with the traditional car seat in base, I couldn't get it out of the thing because it was tilting in such a way that it just like clung to the base even though you were pulling the lever out. So this actually is really nice because of the way that it functions with where you're holding it is where you latch and unlatch. And it's on both sides. And it releases it to swivel or to lift. Very handy. It's a lovely style. Okay, so I currently have in here, it's a summer newborn baby insert. This is the color of the interior of this. It's just a medium gray color with the light gray hood. It comes with a little headrest for a newborn insert, but I took that out because I like this style because it encompasses the whole baby and it nestles Monroe in there perfectly when this particular style is in there. So that's how it looks. If you want to tighten down the straps, you actually, it says Velcro to it, you can undo it, and there's a little lever here that you can toggle and pull to tighten and loosen. Very simple if you want to tighten it down and getting the baby actually hooked in and safely in, strapped in. A lot of times when I take Monroe out, unless I'm driving somewhere, I won't necessarily strap her in, although I know that that looks more realistic if you're out, like in a stroller or whatever. It does look more realistic, but a lot of times I have the baby covered up with a blanket anyways. So that's kind of, for realism, strapping them in is actually a really good suggestion, which Shelby actually talked about on her channel about all the realism, how to make your baby look real for an outing, and she has some really good tips, so you should check her out too. Her video was very helpful. So the wonderful thing about this also is, here's our strap. This is a different type of strap compared to any other car seat out there. I will tell you, this is the best strap. It's got give to it. It's got like a plastic structure, but it's bendable. And this has padding under it. So those of us that want to put it on your forearm to carry, I don't know about you guys, but the traditional car seats that are just hard plastic, I've never been able to carry them on my forearm. No way, not even without a baby in it. There's no way, but this is soft and is able to actually safely, and it doesn't hurt when you carry it on your forearm, which matters. I mean, if you're carrying something with weight, you want it to be comfortable. But in order to not have it slide back, it has a locking mechanism so that when you're carrying, it won't like slide back. It keeps it in place. But this is also what I loved about the car seat. That's different. It's just simply different, a different style altogether than the traditional car seats. Even all the highest end car seats usually have plastic handles. I'm not a fan of that. So that slides back and out of the way. So, you guys, the paparazzi shield is the bomb diggity. I'm telling you, this is one of the coolest features about this. I love it. Where it's stored is underneath the hood. There is a layer. And this, my friends, is the paparazzi shield. It is a white shield that comes down, and it literally just pulls down around the bottom base of the car seat. You can pull that back up if you want it to look that way, and if your baby's sleeping and needs privacy, or if you're coming up on somebody when you're out for a walk, nobody can see your baby. It's perfect because it conceals the baby. You cannot see through it. It also blocks out the sun lightly, but the baby's not going to suffocate in there. It's breathable because you can still get air through it. Air does circulate through here. And I'm telling you, that is like one of the coolest features on any car seat I've ever seen. None that I know of other than the Orbit system. The Orbit baby system have a paparazzi shield. I don't know about you guys, but like for us doll collectors that don't necessarily want people to realize we're walking around with dolls in our strollers, we can use this. This has come in handy so many times when I have been out and about. Let me tell you guys, it's wonderful. And then people that would normally come up and be like, oh, can I see your baby? They're less likely to do it when you have this pulled down, because you can say, oh, I'm sorry, my baby's sleeping. I have an open-eyed baby that I take out. They're gonna know if they peeked in for 5 seconds, she's not sleeping and would wanna stick their face in there or their hands in there. This is a very good way to deter that. And that way you don't have to drape it with another blanket, which I've done. That's an easy way to do that, but you have to be able to clip the blanket on somehow for it not to blow off, because that was the issue with all of my other strollers and car seats that I would use, is I would drape a blanket across there so I could just cover them nicely. So if people approached, easily just drop it down. But the problem is the blankets blew all over the place. If you're outside, it's not my area. We always have some sort of wind. I don't know. And so if you even have a light breeze, especially if it's like a muslin blanket or anything like that, which is what I usually would cover with, nothing heavy, especially in the summertime when I'd be out walking my doll, it blows off, literally blows right off unless you have it held down with something. So this is why I love this car seat. This is why I think it is a superior car seat overall compared to all the other brands out there. And I'm surprised that maybe it's a patented, this particular, you know, they call it a paparazzi shield, but maybe the idea is patented. I don't know, or copyrighted or whatever, and protected, but I think it's genius. I think even for a non-doll collector, someone that has a baby that doesn't want some stranger's mitts and paws all over their child, because let's face it, we know how strangers are with babies. They're really weird, and some people find it, you know, acceptable to touch someone else's child when they don't know the person. And you can fold it better. I just kind of shoved it underneath there. But ultimately, you can just kind of fold it down and it stays put, and you don't really think about it. And it doesn't hinder the movement at all of the hood at all. It's just, it's handy. And you don't really know it's there. And the brand new systems, this is a G2 series. So it's like a second generation, I believe, is what they're calling them, is, you know, the generations. It's still like brand new. It's literally like brand new, like the day I got it. It's not dirty. I've taken it out. I've used it in my car. I've used it in my stroller. I've used it in a lot of places. It's held up very well. It's easy to keep clean. None of the parts are dirty. Might get a little dusty, but it dusts right off from sitting. But overall, the brand new ones were just released. I think they're called the G5 series, and they're all black. You can get like replacement colored canopies and things for them. The nice thing about the Orbit Baby systems is like generation 1 through current, they all use the same base adapter swivel system. So if I bought a new stroller frame, I could put this on it and it would adapt just fine, which is lovely. They haven't changed them out so that you can't interchange different generations, which is awesome. So that way it's an investment. It's an investment that I got a lot of use out of. I love the system, and it's something, you know, if you like how it looks, if you can find one for a good deal, which I think you could now because they've been out for a long time, buy an older generation that may not be the safest for a living newborn baby, but it's fine for our dolls. Go for it. I will tell you that it is the coolest system, and if I were to have a living baby, if I had a new newborn, this is the system. This would be the travel system I would purchase. Obviously, I'd buy the newest generation for a living baby, but it is the safest. And when you lock down the base is bigger than the normal bases as well. It's got a tethering system. It is one of the tightest locking in place, tethered down. That sucker doesn't move. Unlike every other brand car seat with a traditional base, even with a tether system, I never got it as tight as this particular system. The way it pushes up against and locks in place against the back seat is different than any of the others. It's very, very safe, and it is what I would choose if I had a living newborn baby. Maybe that'll be a gift someday when my daughters have grandbabies. I will buy them one because I think it's really, truly the safest travel system I've seen. And I've tried a lot of them. I've bought a lot. I mentioned only a couple of them that I have currently, but I've bought many over the years for dolls and for babies. So I think that this is a beautiful system. I highly recommend it. It's very easy to use. It's very easy to open and use the stroller, the car seat base. Super easy to install. I highly recommend it. So hopefully that gives you guys an idea of why I think it's the best for me. Like I said, this is just my opinion only. I'm sharing with you my favorites, and this is one of them. I think it's one of the classiest looking car seats as well. And like I said, the fact that you can carry it and it's comfortable, this moves out of the way. It's a very cute looking seat. And I will tell you that when I put Monroe in it, she doesn't look swallowed up in it. And I noticed in some of the other car seats as well that I didn't like how she looked in it. And she's not a tiny baby, but she's not huge either. And some of those traditional car seats, they just are so big. And I don't know why. I feel it just makes the doll look teeny inside of it, like it swallows them up. And I don't like that look. So I'm always looking for, you know, a proper fit. The baby looks like they look comfortable in it. This is at an angle where the baby seems very, very comfortable. Oh, one other thing I didn't mention about the base is it has a full-on leveling system in it. So it's built into it so that if your seats are a certain angle, which can be an issue for some car seat bases, if it's angled down, like sloped back, and you can't get it level, the baby's at an odd position, like it angles the baby too forward or too back, and leveling it is important for safety of a living child because of impact. So this has a leveling system in it, and it's on both sides of the base. So it's really easy to tell if you've got it installed properly. Once it's locked down and in place, it's fully level, and it's just, like I said, super safe, and I love it. I think it's super cool. And for us reborn collectors, we like cool looking stuff. We like things that make our babies look realistic. This is one of them. And this was a pretty expensive, pricey purchase for me, but I don't regret it in any way, shape, or form. Like I said in my previous video, I'd spend it again in a heartbeat. They now have, here's the crazy part. They now have a rose gold stroller frame in their new G5 series. And I wish I could have that, but I won't. I'm gonna refrain. I have a perfectly fine stroller system. It's just the traditional gray metal color. But the fact is that they're up with the times. They also have the rose gold, and they have a traditional gold color. It's the stroller frame. So, and any of their systems will work with it because all the bases are usually black, unless you got like a special red one, or I think they had red at one point in time. But like, they're just so pretty. And I love rose gold. So there it is, guys. I'm gonna stop rambling, but there it is. That's what it looks like from the back, the side, the front, and yeah. And the fact that you can swivel and change the direction of it by swiveling the seat on the stroller itself and on the car seat base, and it goes in your car, is wonderful. It's really cool. Super easy to handle. I would highly recommend it. I love it. I've gotten a ton of use out of it. Even if it's just sitting in my nursery with a baby in it, it's getting use, and I love it. And it's great for picture taking and everything else. So there you have it. There's my full review of the Orbit baby system. Like I said, mine is the G2 series, but now out that's current is gonna be a G5. You can see right here on the, right there it says Orbit baby G2. But there it is, guys. Hopefully you enjoy the information on it. And like I said, I wouldn't hesitate for a second. If you really want to have a car seat and you don't have one for your baby, you know, you can find really, really cheap ones, used ones, and wash them, and they're like brand new. And then you have a new prop, new baby furniture. And that's really the fun of it. And that's a huge part of why I enjoy collecting dolls so much, is all the fun stuff that goes along with it. And this happens to be one of them. So there it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed seeing this. If you stuck around for this full 20 minutes, I appreciate it, and I hope you all have a great start to your weekend. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.